Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back with part two on what happens when the state shows up for your survey. All right, so let's just do a quick piggyback on part one. All right, part one, we talked about they're going to want the census. They're going to want to know a list of residents, a matrix for the residents who were admitted to the facility within the last 30 days. They are also going to want to know an alphabetical list of every resident, noting the residents who are LOA or out of the facility. And then they're going to want a list of residents smoking times and locations. All right. Within the hour, then they are going to want more information. Okay. And prior to that, they're going to be meeting with the administrator. They're going to be asking who's the DON. They're going to be asking questions like put up the signs. They're going to ask about water supply, emergency water supply. They'll talk about arbitration. They will then provide you with a CASPER report. And this is the information that they go over this information before they then ask for the information within an hour. Okay, so then after they have that, entrance, right, conversation with the administrator and you, then they're going to ask for other information. And this information is what they want within an hour. Okay, so one, they're going to ask for scheduled menus, all right? And this is for your dietary manager, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. Okay, so after that, they're going to be asking for your scheduled medication times, all right? And this is important that you really pay attention to the times that you're giving your medications. And note if you have several units, if they function at different medication times, all right? Because they want this information because they're going to be wanting to do a medication observation on your with your staff. Okay. Next, they're going to want to know your medication storage rooms. Okay, so for example, if you have one storage room, you would just be saying, okay, my storage room is here, the location. All right, and this is the reason why you need to make sure you have a relationship with your pharmacy company, and they should be doing audits in your medication room at least quarterly. Okay, audits in your medication room and audits in your med cards, at least quarterly. All right, and this is to make sure that you don't have any type of expired meds, and anything that is in that medication room that doesn't belong in there should come out. All right, but you want to at least make sure that they are doing this quarterly. And then if it is quarterly, then you should have some type of process in place where it's being audited at least monthly, all right, so that you're compliant with that. They are going to then ask for your residents if you have like feeding assistance. All right, now I haven't worked at a facility that had to do with feeding assistance, so that was something that you're going to have to look into a little bit further because some facilities offer that, but there is some educational training that goes into that if you do offer feeding assistance at your facility. They're also going to want to know a list of key personnel and their contact numbers. So, for example, they might say, okay, the medical director and his contact number. In the event of emergency, how do you contact these individuals? Okay. They're also going to want working staffing schedules. Okay. And your working staffing schedule is different from the schedule that you actually print out. Okay. And trust me, I know, honey. I know all about it. Okay. All right. I've had some run-ins. But you want to make sure that you never fall below PPD. Okay. And this is why in the DON planner, we track census and we track PPD, because as a DON, it is imperative that you always know these numbers. Okay. Because you need to know what plan you need to put in place to then get you back up. All right. The other reason why it's important to always know your PPD, I look at it from an incidents and accidents measure. So, for example, if I have a lot of incidents and accidents on a certain day, I'm automatically going to be like, oh my God, what my census was like that day. Okay, because typically when we're low on numbers, that's when we have the most incidents, right? Or right? It can go either way. But for me, that's something that I always pay attention to. All right. So they want the working schedules. Okay. They want to know you have 4 call outs. What did you do to get those shifts replaced? Okay. So it looks sloppy. It looks sloppy. All right. And it should be. Okay. You should have a nice, pretty one. And then you should have the working one. Like, oh, you had to move this person here. This person had to go over here. All right. And it's not to I don't want you guys to feel like you got to hide anything, all right? It's real out here in these streets, okay? It is real out here being a DON. It's no such thing as a perfect facility, all right? But the reality is that own it, acknowledge it, all right? It's not about fudging numbers or everything. It is what it is. These are opportunities. So when you know that you have low staffing numbers, we have to start thinking of these as not problems but opportunities of ways to improve, okay? And I know that went totally off the left, but just make sure you pay attention to your staffing numbers because they want those working schedules, okay? And then the other thing they're going to want is your infection prevention and control nurse, okay? Who is your infection prevention and control nurse? And make sure that everybody in your building knows who your infection prevention and control nurse is. And it's actually one of the questions that I put in here in the trivia that the questions that I made for trivia for that I sell. But because everybody needs to know who's in that position, all right? But it's not just who's in that position. Did they have the training that was required to then be in that position? Okay, so those are the things that they're going to want in an hour. Okay, so quick piggyback off of that, we have the menus for the dietary manager. We have the medication administration times for you, the medication storage rooms for you. We have key personnel, working schedules, feeding assistance if you have it, and who's your infection prevention and control nurse. All right, so that is the information that they're going to want within an hour. And this is why I encourage everyone to have a survey binder, all right? Because some of the things that if you notice aren't going to change, right? Your medication storage rooms aren't going to change, right? Your key personnel really isn't going to change unless you have a high turnover rate. You should have those daily staffing meetings every day. So then every week you can just kind of put that in that binder, okay? But planning and preparation produces the outcomes that we want. All right, I want you guys to be as prepared as you possibly can. And that is what I am here for, to support you to not only have a successful survey, but to thrive in your role as a DON. All right, a DON is an amazing position. Okay, it can be overwhelming when you don't have the support and the resources that you think you don't have, but you do have it. All right, all the information that I teach is public knowledge, but I break it down further to make it more strategic, specifically for your facility. All right, so I hope this video helps. Okay, next week when we talk about part 3, that's when we start getting into the nitty gritty. Okay, that's when we start talking about A plus B equals C, and that's where you're really going to come into play and trying to identify, okay, but this is what the keys do. All right, this is what the state says we have to get done, have in place, and then I teach you how to get there through my DON training program, through my coaching, and through all my products. All right, so I hope this video helps you. I hope this video has eased some of your stress and fear. You got this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video for any of your fellow DONs that are in need of help. All right, until next week, guys. Talk to you soon.